plays games with Steve
and Angel. Okay, testimony. Let's do this. All right. It's
all right.
That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. So I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial.
Phoenix, please be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left. I know. Edgeworth, what the heck is going on in that big, beautiful brain of yours?
Mwah.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay. I'll do that.
How do you do that?
I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in a messy state. I slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind.
Hold it! And what did cross your mind?
I thought maybe he had smashed everything up in anger because he lost the Grand Prix. And then felt tired after his rampage, so he decided to take a nap.
I'm EP.
Anyways, that's what I thought.
I see. So you didn't think he was dead at all?
Nope, just EP.
So, yeah, let's think back real quick.
Well, let them cook.
No. I just want to say, if that theory is true and he smashed his room, it's like, so he smashed his room because he got upset about losing a Nickelodeon kid.
God.
When I think about all this, like, who cares? Are you getting paid?
I wanted to get slimed.
Are people watching the show? Then just shut the fuck up, you petty fucking adults.
It's true.
Actors.
Yeah.
Actors.
Listen, I agree. Actors.
So I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice.
Hold it. You thought he fainted?
I thought he was asleep at first, but then the room was in such a messy state. I thought maybe he had gotten into a fight with someone.
And that's when you went to pour the glass of juice?
Yes. He always has he has a hard time waking up. So Han always has a glass of tomato juice to drink.
I see. And after that, what happened next?
How do you know that? I realized I was dead, that's why
Are you bored, Ms. Andrews?
Yeah, I'm EP.
Hold it. And how did you come to realize that he was, in fact, dead?
I shook him over and over, but I never got a response. So I set the glass down on the dresser and tried to take his pulse. I was shocked. It staggered backward.
And knocked the flower vase over. So that's what happened.
Yes.
This is what it all comes down to. Huh? This is the absolute end for both sides. And Adrian is letting her guard down. Phoenix, now is our best chance yet to kill the prosecution's case. Isn't that a bit harsh? Miss Andrews, will you tell us the truth this time?
The glass juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw I was in a messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. Something like that, I just thought the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. He was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. I don't remember if I pressed this.
Hold it. Slumped over?
Yes, he was just sitting there with his head tilted forward, eyes closed. He really looked like he was sleeping.
Is it just me, or did that right there sound a little odd?
Something like that. The thought that he was dead did cross my mind. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw that it was a little messy state. he was slumped over and tired looking in the corner. I mean, did she not see the knife? So I'm sitting like that. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. He was sitting... Okay. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked the flower vase over. Sitting like that. The thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. Crime photo. I mean, he has a knife. I just... Okay. You know what? Okay, I'm just gonna present it.
Objection!
Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
My head tilted slightly. It's like, oh, would she not notice the knife? And then you kept going on. I'm like,
I was like, they'll get it. They'll get it.
yeah, I was
They'll get it.
It's like Celeste Impact. It's like, no, not Celeste. So you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him,
No, not at all.
even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Gotta say, her lies are so bad.
Yeah.
When she's like, well, I was wearing gloves. Your fingerprints are on the glass. Oh, well, how was I supposed to know he was dead? there's a knife sticking out of him. Ah!
Fuck! He likes tomato juice.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm Matt On Guard's manager?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
All right.
What is the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Corrida's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that that here was a dead man.
You don't keep your knife casually in your armhole or your chest hole? Come on. It's a good place to put it.
Yeah. That's... well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
No!
She's got nice pants.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matt On Guard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
It's because
No. No.
I always wanted to be with you.
We've explained that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, anyway, the Pokemon movie. Anyway,
Ms. Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matt On Guard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last? What's wrong, Phoenix? Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. You know, in this game universe. That's
yeah,
really how-
never in the real world.
that's how it works in real life. And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I would like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt On Guard.
Objection! Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time, much like Phoenix's ejaculate. What?
What?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. What was about premature ejaculation?
The absolute real truth? What are you...
Witness, don't you understand yet? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head, but as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matt on guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. You fucking dum-dum.
That's a lie. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I'm trying to trick you. What?
I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared.
It's Francisca von Karma. Huh? Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of another. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself. Then, right now, Miss Andrews is... Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, Matt Ongard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now, and is clinging on to them, and her shoulders. Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this. But Miss Andrews has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty. That is my only priority.
It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Help, please. Someone help me.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor.
the court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Right. I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else who could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now. What will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Okay, now you want me to do it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Well, it's been long enough.
It was like a joke in the last episode. I was saying, no, I'm like, I put the cum in circumstance.
I did have the exact same thought.
Same brain!
Same
Oh
brain.
my
Yeah.
god.
Circumstantial.
See, I was gonna go for circumcised.
Oh,
Circumcised?
different little twist on that.
Request not guilty verdict. Force Andrews to testify. Yeah.
I have to win a complete acquittal today. There's no way around that. But I can't bring myself to do it like this. Not when she's making a face like that. Miss Andrews, I'd like to know what you are really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Sure, Mr. Ongard would get an acquittal, but in his place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want this trial to end?
Be quiet. How dare you? You're trying to trick me.
Oh, okay.
that's enough.
I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, sorry. Don't look down on your phone. I'm kidding.
All right, Angel, I'm not going to help you at all for the rest of this game.
Damn.
However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Such a shame.
Huh?
I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However,
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Ms. Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court.
Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth?
This witness, how should I put this? She is an illness.
What?
And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past.
Oh my god. Stop. Please stop.
No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
That's...
That's the second part of the suicide report. The attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is not great.
The secret of her codependent nature. Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
Please stop. I beg you. If people find out, I'll...
If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me.
Oh my god.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your breathing lips, no matter what I have to do. So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me.
I'll talk, but please, help me.
Edgeworth, yeah. For the guy... Oh, I'll say it later.
Nothing matters anymore.
I said, for the guy who's just like, Miles Edgeworth chooses death, and saying that, but just taking his little European vacation, you know, what an asshole.
Yeah, okay, yeah, this he's a dick about. This I would be reasonably mad about, like, Phoenix. Like, going too far. Or about, like, Miles going too far in Phoenix's eyes.
Right.
When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted, honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Like, I understand what Edgeworth is doing, but you could do it in a much more sensitive way. Yeah, it's not great. Stab the body with a knife. Why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
But what do you mean by all of this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth.
The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. He's trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Last time?
So Ms. Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife in the ballroom. However, she didn't do it with the murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? What? How is this possible? How can I have two voices? I mean,
wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
3 voices?
Wow, you're really projecting today.
And I'm doing it in my mind.
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination.
And shut your 2 voices up. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made it... Okay, hold on. Let me go one at a time.
Hold it! What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt.
So the forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button.
The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash to the Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel. Okay.
Hold it! An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
That's Miss Oldbag for you.
Jesus. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once. So I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. And then I stabbed her and ripped off the button.
Hold it! So you were the one. So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife? That knife. Oh, so it was one. Sorry.
And you're fine. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect.
So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Ungard's hakama.
Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Oh, and a bit of inconvenience.
Hold it. You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it in Juan's guitar case the day before the awards ceremony.
You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct?
Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is this secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I don't want to concede. This testimony, it brings the truth. I'm sorry, Phoenix. No, please, don't apologize to me. We were both taken by surprise. Still, I'm sorry.
First shot, I really thought you had faded. When I realized it was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Was to make sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash to the Matt's room.
Hold it! That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. I'm finding myself like out of breath. I don't know.
Yeah,
Matt?
you want someone to take over?
No. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then I stabbed Juan's body and ripped off the button. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Did I press this one already? Probably not. Okay.
Hold it. What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murder was Matt. I knew because Juan, he was going to expose by accident.
We did.
Okay, yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I can't keep track because
There's so many.
I forget where you started, so...
I've been like dotting to just see like what I think is the most important, and then I kind of have to backtrack. Like, oh, okay, maybe I have to like press this first or something.
Not a bad call.
When I first saw him, I really thought he would explain it.
Hold it! But you could tell from the state of the room was in that there must have been a fight. Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf is a part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up and went to pour the juice.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Unguard's room and planted the button?
Into Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it.
My word, what does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt on guard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
Wait, Your Honor. The defense still...
Objection! Right.
Huh?
It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But...
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That's all. Court is adjourned for today.
No! Oh my
Feels
god.
like the end of a Stephen King novel.
Oh god.
Today's trial, it's over. I didn't win an acquittal. Yeah, I said, sorry. Win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
What? Edgeworth?
What is it?
Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it?
Oh, this? Mr. Wright has also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time he asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day?
Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
She messed with the crime scene so much.
Yeah.
She grabbed a card, she put a glass on a table, and she knocked over a flower vase. And then I used the bathroom, and then I don't know, rubbed my mud on the body, and then I smashed a mirror 'cause I was frustrated because I did a bad job in Candy Crush. Anyway.
Someone wrote a name on the wall in blood, and I just kind of cleaned it up because I thought that would be really rude to the hotel.
And then I thought, I would strangle Juan to try and wake him up. Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case... but as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why...
Hold it! Witness that card. Give it to me. Hurry!
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done?
SungWon was just ranting about.
This. I can't believe you hid this from me all this time.
I didn't mean to.
What is this all about? I've never seen such an emotional Edgeworth in my entire life.
Except when they canceled Steel Samurai.
No!
That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? Ooh, the
The card will tell something about what happened at the crime.
Well, that was sad, but I couldn't think of a more fitting way to end this episode.
Ooh.
Session.
That's right.
Think about it, Angel.
Think about it.
The card.
The card will tell. The fact it has a nice, pretty shell.
Okay, well, I saved. Should I?
You did save.
Yeah, we saved.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.